Hi everyone, I'm Miumu from Susan's family. Today I will teach you how to make the Jingyi vest dress from Secret Garden series. This vest dress is divided into the front piece, back piece, connections and decorations. Let's start with the back piece. From bottom to top, it is divided into the skirt hem, bust section and shoulder parts. We will start from foundation chain and work back and forth from bottom to top. Several crochet stitches will be applied, all of which are marked on the pattern chart. I won't list them all here. Since the two sizes have similar crocheting methods, they only differ in row count and stitch count. I will demonstrate using the smaller sizes diagram as an example. You can learn the technique first. Let's start with casting on. Take out the corresponding yarn. The sample swatch uses random yarn. For specific yarn details, color schemes, and crochet hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product. Hang the yarn properly. Start with a beginning chain. Make a knot. Then work the corresponding number of chains. The stitch count for the sample is random. That's how you complete the beginning chain. Next, work the first row of the skirt. Let me emphasize again. The sample demonstration is based on the small size chart. For other sizes, please refer to their respective charts and work the corresponding stitches. Read the chart from right to left. Start with a standing chain as the turning chain for single crochet. This doesn't count as one stitch. On the second to last chain, pick up the back loop and work one single crochet. Chain 3. Below, skip 3 stitches. Work 1 double crochet increase. That is, work 2 double crochets in the same position. The double crochet increase is completed. Continue to skip 1 stitch and work 1 double crochet increase. Below, chain 3. Skip 3 stitches and work 1 single crochet. Chain 3. Continue to skip 3 stitches and work 1 double crochet increase. Skip 1 stitch, then work 1 double crochet increase. We consider these 2 double crochet increases as pattern A. The single crochet and 6 chains are considered as pattern B. This row is alternating between pattern A and pattern B. There needs to be 1 skipped stitch between the insertion points of pattern A. Pattern B has 3 skipped stitches on each side. Follow this pattern to complete the row. After completing the last pattern A, chain 3. Skip 3 stitches and work 1 single crochet. The first row is now complete. We will consider the side with the clearer texture of this row as the right side of the entire piece. That is, the side where the yarn tail is on the left hand. Now proceed to the second row. Refer to the chart from left to right. Start with 4 chains as a beginning chain. This counts as 1 treble crochet. Then chain 2 for transition. Turn the work. The beginning stitch corresponds to the single crochet below. Work 1 treble crochet on the single crochet, yarn over twice. Insert the hook. Note that on the wrong side, the stitch is located at the top left. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. The treble crochet is now completed. Now we reach the position for pattern A. Work 1 pattern A on these 2 double crochets on both sides. Next, work 1 pattern B on the single crochet of pattern B on the left side. Work 1 pattern B. Alternate crocheting pattern A and pattern B following this method. Pay attention to the insertion point and avoid crocheting incorrectly. After completing the last pattern A, work 1 treble crochet on the edge single crochet, yarn over twice, insert the hook. Draw the yarn through, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. The treble crochet is now completed. Continue with 2 chains. Work 1 more treble crochet in the same stitch. The second row is done. Continue to the third row. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Turn the work. Work 1 double crochet on the first double crochet on the left side. Crochet 1 double crochet. Pay attention not to hook in the wrong position. Continue with 1 pattern B. Mindful that the single crochet goes into the gap between pattern A from the previous row. On this stitch on the right side. Then work 1 pattern A. In the double crochet stitches on both sides of pattern B from the previous row, insert and work 2 double crochets. Continue with another pattern B. Single crochet into the stitch slightly to the right of the gap. Repeat this process, alternating between pattern A and pattern B. Be mindful of the insertion position. After completing the last pattern B, work 1 double crochet on the edge stitch. Work 1 double crochet on the turning chain. Here, pay attention and locate the 4th chain going upwards. Pick up these 2 threads and crochet. Later, when you encounter a beginning chain of 3 chains, crochet on top of it. Make sure to locate the 3rd chain and crochet into it. This completes the 3rd row. Now move on to the 4th row. Start with 3 chains as the turning chain. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet on the left stitch. Then follow the technique used in the second row. Correspondingly crochet pattern B and pattern A. End with 2 double crochets. For the final stitch, pick up the top 2 threads of the turning chain and crochet. Picking up the 4th row completes it. Continue with the 5th row. Start with 1 chain as the turning chain. Turn your work 1 single crochet. Then 3 chains. Below, follow the technique used in the 3rd row, crochet pattern A on each side of the double crochets from pattern B below. Then work 1 pattern B. You can see that the insertion points for this rose pattern are identical to those of the 3rd row. They are just staggered from each other. Repeat this process to complete the row. After finishing the last pattern A, work 3 chains. Crochet 1 single crochet into the turning chain. The 5th row is now done. You can measure the dimensions of the fabric piece. Compare it with the dimensions provided in the chart. If there's a significant difference, you'll need to adjust your tension and crochet again. This will prevent affecting the final product's dimensions. For the following rows, continue crocheting back and forth. The middle section follows the stitch patterns of rows 2 through 5 in sequence. Pattern A and pattern B correspond and alternate staggered. Mindful of the insertion points so you don't make a mistake. At the edges, change the stitch technique to create a curved decrease. Pay attention to the finishing touches, refer to the chart for the insertion positions. Some beginning chains are left unworked. Here, for the small size on row 6, you'll encounter a treble crochet increase. I'll demonstrate the stitch technique with a sample swatch. Work 2 treble crochets in the same position. The treble crochet increase is completed. For the small size, starting on row 7, you need to begin with 2 chains, then follow the pattern chart for crocheting. At the end, you'll need to work a double crochet decrease. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over, insert into the stitch. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is complete. Continue with the second stitch. Yarn over, insert under the top of the starting chain. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops again. The second stitch is complete. Yarn over and draw through all remaining loops in one go. The double crochet decrease is now finished. When you encounter a double crochet decrease later, follow this process. Insert the hook into the corresponding position and crochet as shown. You'll also come across DC3 in 1 later. Crochet 3 double crochets in the corresponding position. Everyone refer to the pattern and finish crocheting the remaining rows of the hem. That concludes the explanation for crocheting the hem. Next, continue crocheting the front piece after the hem. There will be decreases on both sides. The new stitch technique used is TRDC tog and slip stitch. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start with the first row. Here, I'll use a swatch for demonstration. There are fewer rows. The focus is on demonstrating the technique. First, enlarge the loop slightly. Turn the fabric over. Work one slip stitch in the second treble crochet. No need to tighten the oval-shaped slip stitch. One chain. Work one slip stitch in the chain space. One chain. Skip one stitch and slip. This brings the yarn to the correct position. Work one single crochet in the left stitch. 3 chains. Continue crocheting by referring to the pattern chart. After completing the ending single crochet, work one slip stitch. The first row is done. Continue with the second row. Turn your work. Slip stitch in the single crochet stitch. One chain. Slip stitch in the chain space. One chain. Slip stitch in the stitch. 3 chains. Skip 2 stitches and work one double crochet increase. Continue crocheting while following the pattern chart. After completing the last pattern B, work one double crochet in the left stitch. Then work one TRDC tog. First, start with an incomplete double crochet in the same insertion position. Next, in the edge stitch, work one incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert your hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this twice. The incomplete treble crochet is now done. Finally, yarn over and draw through all remaining loops. The cluster of double crochet and treble crochet is now complete. Row 2 is finished. Continue working back and forth for the remaining rows. Alternate crocheting the patterns in the middle section. Follow the chart for the edges. For the last row, refer to the chart for the middle section. Let's finish it up. That concludes the explanation of the front piece. Next, we'll learn how to work on the shoulder parts. It's divided into left and right shoulder parts. The left and right here refer to the sides when the garment is being worn. First, continue crocheting the right shoulder part by following the thread from the front piece. Then, attach a new yarn to crochet the left shoulder part. The new stitch we'll be using is half double crochet. Watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet technique. For this part, I'll demonstrate using a sample swatch. Before crocheting, refer to the chart. Locate the position that corresponds to the shoulder part section. Mark it with a stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a safety pin or paperclip as an alternative. Now crochet the first row of the right shoulder part. Follow the pattern and crochet the corresponding stitches. The first row is now complete. Leave the remaining part unworked. Continue with the second row. Start with 3 chains. Turn your work. Crochet 1 double crochet into the third double crochet stitch. Chain 2. Work a treble crochet in the single crochet stitch. Chain 2. Correspondingly make 1/2 double crochet in the left stitch. Crochet 2 single crochets. Work 1 slip stitch. The second row is now completed. Fasten off the yarn. Secure with 1 chain. Enlarge the loop. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut off. That's how you finish the right shoulder part. Continue crocheting the left shoulder part. Join yarn at the other stitch marker position. Begin by making a slip knot. Place the already crocheted shoulder part on the right side. Adjust as needed. Then refer to the pattern and crochet. The method is similar to that of the right shoulder part. Finally, fasten off the yarn as well. Weave in the yarn tail for joining along the texture at the back. That concludes the crocheting of the shoulder parts. The back piece has also been explained. Next, let's learn about the front piece. We will start from foundation chain. Work back and forth. It is similarly divided into the hem, the bust piece, and the shoulder part. The overall crochet technique is similar to that of the back piece. However, the row count for the bust piece is smaller. The shoulder part is crocheted separately for the left and right shoulders. Everyone can follow this method by referring to the pattern. That concludes the explanation of the front piece's crocheting. After completing the crocheting of the front piece, attach the front and back pieces together. This includes joining the shoulders and the hem. Start by connecting the shoulders of the front and back pieces. Here, you need to place the wrong sides of the front and back pieces outward. Insert the hook into the corresponding positions of the shoulders on both the front and back pieces from the wrong side. Use single crochets to join them together. Between each 2 single crochets, chain 3 as a bridge. The exact number of chains can also be adjusted according to your preference. For the specific joining method, you can refer to the demonstration in the video below. Taking the right front piece as an example. Note, the left and right front pieces refer to the actual left and right when worn. Place the right front piece with the right side facing the back piece, with the wrong sides facing outward. You can start joining from either side. Overlap and align the shoulders. This swatch is the back piece. This one is the right front piece. We'll start here from the edge and keep joining until this double crochet position. Here on the back piece is also the double crochet position. Insert the hook through a few strands of yarn at the edges of both fabric pieces. Join the yarn. Work 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet at the joining place. Then work 2-3 chains. I'm working 3 chains here. Leave a small interval. Insert the hook through a few strands of yarn at the edge of the fabric pieces. Continue with 1 single crochet. This interval is roughly the same as the length of the chains. Make sure the fabric piece doesn't shrink after completing it. And when you encounter carrying yarn, weave the carrying yarn into the stitches. The joining process is to alternate one single crochet with 2-3 chains. Complete the joining for this edge. After finishing, fasten off the yarn. Then join the side of the skirt hem. Also join on the wrong side. The method is similar to the shoulder joining. Pay attention to matching the pattern repeats as much as possible for each row. You can first use stitch markers to align and secure. For the specific joining method, you can refer to the demonstration in the video below. The single crochet and chain method. Below is a demonstration of using the single crochet and chain method to join two pieces together. Place the two pieces right sides together, with wrong sides facing outwards. Overlap them properly. Insert the hook into the starting chain at both corner positions. Join the yarn. Make one chain as your beginning chain. Work one single crochet in the same position. Then work a chain for transition. The number of chains should follow the chart. Here, work 3 chains. Next, insert into the position on the left side. Pay attention to inserting both the front and back pieces at the same time. Work one single crochet. Then work a chain for transition again. And then insert through both fabric pieces simultaneously. Work a single crochet. Continue working chains and single crochets. Make sure the front and back pieces are aligned. Avoid any misalignment. The insertion point for the single crochet is not fixed. As long as during the crocheting process, the fabric remains flat, that's fine. Continue to join along this edge completely. After completion, cut the yarn. This way, the edge is connected. This is what the effect looks like from the front side. With this, the explanation of the front piece is finished. Next, let's learn how to crochet the edges. It includes crocheting the cuffs, the neckline edging, and the hem edging. For edging, the cuff edging and neckline edging are done at the cuff positions formed by the front and back pieces, and around the neckline position. You will crochet in rounds. The method is identical. The hem edging is done by crocheting in rounds from the starting chain of the skirt. The method for the 3 types of edging is the same. The only difference is the insertion point. Here, I'll demonstrate the technique using the hem edging as an example. Place the front and back pieces with the right side facing out. At the joining point, insert your hook, make a starting chain, and join the yarn. Here, I'll use a swatch for demonstration. Crochet 3 chain stitches. Work 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Then insert your hook into the gap in the middle of pattern A on the left side. Then insert your hook into the pattern on the left side. Work 1 slip stitch. We will treat the stitches we've already crocheted as 1 lace trim. Continue to crochet another lace trim. Double crochet in the same position. Slip stitch in the insertion point of the single crochet. Repeat crocheting the lace trims afterward. Insert the slip stitches into the insertion points of the single crochets. Crochet by inserting into the gaps of pattern A. You can also adjust according to the actual situation. Adjust the insertion point for the slip stitch. Ensure the fabric is flat and looks nice. For the joining position, just insert into any side of the single crochet insertion point. Finally, work a slip stitch at the joining position. Break the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Neaten up all other yarn tails in the same way. That completes the edging for the hem. The edging for the cuffs and neckline will follow. Similarly, insert the hook at the edge to crochet the edging. The number of edgings shown in the chart is for reference. The slip stitch insertion point is also just a guide. You can adjust the insertion point based on the actual situation. Ensure the fabric is flat and looks nice after completing the edging. Make sure the edging is evenly distributed. Refer to the previous demonstration to finish it. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the border. Finally, let's learn about decorations, including flowers, leaves, branches, and assembly are the main parts. Please note that variegated yarn is used for crocheting here. Different color segments will result in different effects when crocheted. The outcome will vary depending on the color segment chosen. Feel free to choose based on your preference. Let's start with the flowers. There are 3 sizes: large, medium, and small. All of them use the chain ring method to begin. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Here, I will demonstrate the crochet technique, using the large flower as an example. Start with a slip knot. Begin by making 5 chain stitches. Face the braid-like texture of the chains toward yourself. Insert the hook into the outside half loop of the first chain. Work 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. The starting chain is now complete. Move on to the first round. Start by crocheting 5 chain stitches. Join with a slip stitch in the starting ring. Pull the yarn tail to tighten it slightly. Consider the already crocheted stitches as 1 petal for this round. Continue crocheting 5 more petals. Pay attention and adjust the position as needed during the process. Once completed, the first round is done. Proceed to crochet the second round. Slightly enlarge the loop while working. Insert the hook behind the left petal. Pick up the starting loop. Work one slip stitch. For convenience in locating the position, place a stitch marker on the chain formed by the slip stitch. Continue with 4 more chain stitches. Below, insert the hook behind the previous round's petal and work a slip stitch. Chain 4 as a transition. After completing the last 4 chain stitches, join with a slip stitch at the marked position. Pull tight. That completes the second round. On the wrong side, 6 holes are formed. If there are any remaining yarn tails, you can cut them off. Continue to the third round. Work 1 single crochet into the chain space of the second round on the left side. You can also place a marker at this stitch if desired. If you can easily find your starting position, then marking is not necessary. Work 4 double crochets. One single crochet. We will treat the stitches in the hole as one petal for this round. Continue picking up such holes and correspondingly make petals. Pay attention, place the first round's petals at the front. Do not hook in the wrong position. Finally, conclude with a slip stitch at the starting stitch. Pull tight. The third round is complete. Move on to the fourth round. Start with 1 chain for transition. On the left side, behind this petal from the third round. Insert through the gap in the middle of the double crochets. Pick up the braid from the second round. Slip stitch. Five chains. Insert again through the next petal's middle gap. Pick up the chain braid and slip stitch. 5 chains. Repeat this process to work the entire round. The 4th round is complete. Continue to work on the 5th round. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern into the chain space from the previous round. End with a slip stitch. This forms the petals. The 5th round is complete. For the following rounds, refer to the crochet techniques used in rounds 4 and 5. Pay attention to the round after the petals. Begin by crocheting a chain for transition. The specific number of chains depends on the pattern. You can also adjust according to the actual situation. Just make sure the fabric piece stays flat. Insert the slip stitch into the approximate middle position of the petals from the previous round. After completing the last round, leave a 50 cm tail and cut the yarn. That completes one large flower. The crochet techniques for medium and small flowers correspond to the same rounds as the large flower. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete the crocheting. Remember to leave a yarn tail at the end for sewing. That concludes the explanation of the flowers. Next, let's learn how to make the leaves. There are large leaves and small leaves. Both use the foundation chain method to start. Work following the magic ring to form a loop. The new stitch technique used is the CH1 picket. Here, I'll demonstrate the crochet technique, using the large leaf as an example. Start with a slip knot, and create a foundation chain. After completing it, chain 1 to begin. Begin from the second to last stitch. Pick up the back loop and correspondingly make single crochets. After completing, work one chain stitch. Rotate the fabric a little. Insert your hook into the single crochet insertion point. Correspondingly make one single crochet. You can place a stitch marker on this single crochet. In the next position, work 1/2 double crochet and 1 double crochet. Continue correspondingly with 2 double crochets. Work 1 double crochet increase. Work 1 double crochet. In the next position, work 1 double crochet and 1/2 double crochet. Work 1 single crochet in the last single crochet insertion point. On the beginning chain on the left side, pick up 1 to 2 strands and work 1 single crochet. Work 1 CH1 picket, chain 1 picket. First, work 1 chain stitch. Insert your hook into the front loop of the stitch below, that is, the strand of yarn closest to you, and the strand below. Work 1 slip stitch. The CH1 picket, chain 1 picket, is now completed. Work another single crochet in the same stitch. Pick up stitches to the left and work the corresponding stitch pattern. After completing the last single crochet on the final stitch, slip stitch on the left single crochet stitch. Leave a 30 cm tail end, then fasten off the yarn. Trim any remaining unsecured yarn tails. We will use the side with clearer texture as the right side. One large leaf is now completed. The technique for small leaves is similar. Everyone can finish crocheting the required number of leaves. For the specific number of large and small leaves, you can refer to the pattern chart. You may also adjust according to your preference. Next, we'll learn how to crochet the branches and assemble them. Here, the branches are divided into long branches and short branches. First, complete crocheting and assembling the long branch. Then secure the flowers. After that, crochet the short branches. Finally, attach the leaves. Please watch the demonstration. First, learn how to crochet the long branch. Since the branch is quite long, for convenience in crocheting, take yarn from both the center and outer ring of the ball of yarn. At the same time, combine them together to crochet. For better visibility, I'll demonstrate using two colors. You can choose specific color segments based on your own preference. Start by leaving a little yarn tail. Make a slip knot. Place one of the yarn strands below. Hang the other strand properly. Hook the lower yarn strand from front to back onto the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through. Continue by hanging the yarn again, mindful that it's not too tight. Draw through. Repeat this step. After crocheting to an approximate length, you can fit it against the corresponding position to check. Here, I'll demonstrate using the hem as an example. Place the beginning position of the strand. Exit from the middle gap of pattern A in the first row of the skirt hem to the right side. Try to keep this braid-like texture on the outer side here. The specific thread pulling position can also be adjusted according to your own preference. Distribute the strands evenly and stick them close to the fabric. Ensure the texture looks nice. Keep wrapping until you finish the entire circle. Adjust the length based on the actual situation. After confirming it fits properly, leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Then place the connection point on the wrong side. Sew together the beginning and ending. The yarn tails should also be tied in a knot and hidden inside. Hide the yarn tail at the starting position as well. Everyone can now finish this part. This completes the long strands on the hem section. For the neckline and cuffs, the long strands can be crocheted and assembled using the same method. The threading position is roughly along the line of the edging insertion point. The threading points should be spaced th or ee tilde or centimeters apart. You can decide based on your own preference. That concludes the explanation of the long strands. Next, we will secure the flowers. You can refer to the finished product for the specific flower placement, or you can adjust according to your preference. Here, I will give a rough explanation of the positions. The flowers are distributed on the front piece. There is a large flower slightly towards the lower right of the chest piece. There is a small flower at the upper right corner. There is a small flower at the lower right position. At the left bottom, 2 large flowers are arranged in a triangular shape. 1 medium flower and 1 small flower. To the right of the medium flower, there is a small flower in a roughly symmetrical position. After determining the positions according to your preference, and ensuring they fit well, secure them with stitch markers. Then use the reserved yarn to sew and fix them in place. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific sewing method. Here, I will demonstrate using the large flower as an example. Thread the yarn tail through the needle. Place it right side up in the corresponding position. The sample swatch positions are random. First, transition the yarn to the middle petal position. Make a knot. Pick up the thread at the bottom of the petal. Secure it to the fabric. Once done, attach the circle of petals around the middle. Card number for reference. There is no specific requirement for the securing method. Just make sure it's secured tightly. The petals should stand naturally, that's all. Finally, secure the bottom of the last circle of petals as well. Tie off and weave in the ends neatly at the end. Fix the other flowers tightly using the same method. Everyone complete it. Move on to crocheting the short branches. There are a total of 8 branches. This one here is also a single branch. The specific number of branches, their length and direction, you all can refer to the finished product, or you can make adjustments on your own. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. Here, the branch is relatively short. Before crocheting, first leave a yarn tail about 3 times the estimated length of the branch plus a little more. Join the yarn from the bottom edge of the flower. Then follow the stitch technique for long branches to crochet chain stitches. After completing it, leave a 10 cm yarn tail and fasten off. Then determine the direction of the branch. If you want to twist it, determine the direction first. You can use a stitch marker to roughly secure it. After confirming, fasten the end by securing the yarn tail. Tie a knot on the wrong side. Weave in the ends following the texture. The braid-like texture of the branch should face upward as much as possible. This way, a short branch is crocheted and secured. Complete and fix other short branches according to your preference. Finally, secure the leaves. Here, the large and small leaves are randomly distributed on both sides and the tip of the short branches around the flowers and along the edges of the long branches at the neckline. The leaves near the neckline roughly create an alternating effect like this. The suspended parts are not sewn together. Only the back side, where they connect to the fabric, needs to be secured. The orientation of the leaves in other sections, as well as their colors and distribution, you can refer to the finished product, or decide according to your preference. Please watch me demonstrate the specific sewing technique. Here, I will sew the leaves around the short branch as an example. The tip of the leaf should face outward, with the right side facing up. Place one end of the yarn tail at a suitable position on the branch. When securing, make sure to hold the branch in place as well. Try not to make the stitching on the right side too visible. The edges of the leaves don't need to be fixed. Make it look three-dimensional, or you can also sew it flat. When sewing, pick up the stitches from the wrong side and sew. After securing it well, tie a knot and weave in the ends at the bent part of the short branch. If there are no leaves arranged, you can take a piece of yarn and on the back side, Find a few spots to attach it securely to the fabric. Be mindful to maintain a beautiful curve. That concludes the explanation of the decoration. Up to this point, the entire piece of clothing has been explained in full. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.